The Golden Eagles Sports Report is finally back.
The men's basketball team flashes at home, plus lacrosse season is right around the corner.
Thank you for joining us. Golden Eagles Sports Report starts right now.
Slam! Done! Oh, that's a poster.
Live from the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio at Marquette University, this is Golden Eagle Sports Report.
Marquette gets the rebound, and the champions have gone down.
Raquel Ruiz joined here by Zoe Shurig. Zoe, how's your day going today?
I'm doing great, Raquel. How are you?
Doing pretty well as well.
Tonight, our 9th-ranked men's squad faces against a Big East foe in the form of the Butler Bulldogs at Indianapolis's Hinkle Field. For previews of the game, we have our own Kaylin Wright in the field to give us some insight before tip-off. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
So coming off 2 Big East wins over Seton Hall and Villanova, how can Marquette keep that momentum going to ensure we secure a win tonight against Butler?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Marquette offensively, three-point shooting is a huge part of their game. And in 3 of their last 5 games, they've hit 35% of those three-pointers. But I think they need shooters like Cam Jones and David Joplin to get out of their three-point shooting slumps. In their last 49 attempts, they've made just 10, so that's 20%. So I think three-point shooting for them is definitely going to be key to their success against Butler. I think additionally, if you think about the last time Marquette played Butler, it was a win in Milwaukee, and Marquette attempted 28 more shots than Butler. They also just committed 2 turnovers and grabbed 20 offensive rebounds. So I think if you can try and replicate that performance as well as trying to get those three-point shooters going again, I think that's going to be the key for Marquette to pull out a win against Butler tonight.
And you mentioned Cam Jones as one of your players. He was just named Big East Player of the Week and seems to be the front runner for Big East Player of the Year. What kind of impact do you think this brings to a night like this?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, the value that he has on the court, he's absolutely invaluable, and you can see that because he controls that offense, he's Marquette's point guard. And I think you can see when he's on the court, he makes a difference, and when he's off the court, he makes definitely a big difference for Marquette. If you think about the loss to Dayton, he had to sit out early in the first half because of foul trouble, and then Dayton went on that 7-0 run and kind of just took control of the game from there. You think about the Xavier loss, he only scored 11 points on 5 for 13 shooting. So, you know, when he struggles, the rest of Marquette struggles too. He is kind of breaking out of that slump, though. As you can see, Big East Player of the Week, he shot 63% from the field against Seton Hall, 42% from the field against Villanova. So as he continues to break out of that slump, I think a saying that kind of goes for the rest of the season, if Cam Jones goes, Marquette goes.
Mm-hmm. And the Golden Eagles starting 5 has been undoubtedly great so far this year, but who do you think we can really rely on as a bench option if it's a tough match tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Shaka Smart has really preached to the bench that they need to do their role. They need to be stars in their roles, like Shaka Smart says all the time. And I think a key option off the bench for tonight for Marquette against Butler is going to be first-year forward Royce Parham. I really have liked what I've seen from him so far this season in his first year of college basketball. Against Villanova on Friday night, he had 10 points in 10 minutes on 50% shooting from behind the three-point range. And in his last 3 games, he's shot 53% from the field. So I would love to see him continue that trend heading into Butler. And I think just with his size, he's just so versatile in offense. You know, he can hit a 3, but he can also go to the paint and just get a quick bucket. So I think I would love to see him kind of utilize his size tonight against Butler.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Kaylin, but that's all we have time for right now. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Georgetown women's basketball entered the Al McGuire seeking an expansion on their 10-9 overall record.
The Golden Eagles were having none of it early, though, as they continuously attacked the rim and found high-quality looks. The Hoyas refused to give in as lead scorer Kelsey Ransom found the holes in the Golden Eagles' defense and had major offensive success early.
Ransom finished the game with 25 points, including this 3 deep ball from deep.
Senior Lee Volker was a major spark plug for the Golden Eagles as she was able to rack up 20 points on the day.
From crafty drives to transitions, buckets, Volker was both efficient and effective down the stretch.
Skylar Forbes continued her scoring prowess with 18 points of her own, including 2 crucial threes. With this performance, Forbes also earned a nod for Big East Weekly Honor Roll, making it her 4th of the season.
With Forbes, Volker, and Weiss combining for 57 points overall, the Golden Eagles were able to power past the Hoyas in a 75-58 win.
The Golden Eagles are now 13-6 overall and look to continue their winning ways against Xavier on Wednesday. Marquette is in the midst of Big East play and face off against the Villanova Wildcats. Will coach Shaka Smart extend his win streak? Adrian Fraga brings us more.
Marquette versus Villanova. Wildcats and Golden Eagles. A classic Big East matchup. And one that's been rather lopsided since head coach Shaka Smart came into town. On home court, the Golden Eagles look to extend Coach Smart's win streak versus the Wildcats. Senior forward David Joplin works the paint and earns the first bucket of the game. Senior guard Cam Jones gets the ball and quickly puts up a triple. The Marquette onslaught continues as first-year forward Royce Parham sinks a buzzer beater to end the half. But Marquette's offense wasn't the only thing buzzing. The defensive intensity was on full display.
But our game plan was, to really try to be, as tough-minded as we could be as a group of 5, guarding their best guys, just so that we didn't put any defender on an island.
No Villanova defender was put on an island, but the Wildcats were left stranded and couldn't find any rhythm. Marquette sends Villanova back home, winning 87-74. Pennsylvania native Stevie Mitchell shines in the win, tying a career-high 21 points.
I mean, it's just fun playing against them. All my friends grew up Villanova fans, so, when we play against them, it's the only time they'll cheer for a team to beat Villanova, so it's just always fun.
Following the win, Coach Smart now boasts 8 wins in a row versus Villanova. The team will look to keep dominating as March slowly creeps up. I'm Adrian Fraga, Marquette Wire Sports.
Following the 2-0 week for Marquette, a familiar face earns a familiar honor. Cam Jones is named the Big East Player of the Week for the 3rd time this season. The senior guard averaged over 17 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds in the 2 wins this past week.
The Golden Eagles also bounced back in the latest AP poll rankings.
Marquette goes up 1 spot to 9 this week after 2 big conference wins versus Seton Hall and Villanova.
Coming up, which lacrosse players earn preseason recognition?
And who will win our weekly awards? Find out after the break.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Hello and welcome back to Golden Eagle Sports Report. I'm Raquel Ruiz.
And I'm Zoe Shurik.
Before the men's lacrosse season starts, a senior attacker earns preseason All-Big East team recognition. Bobby O'Grady put up 26 goals last season and became Marquette men's lacrosse all-time leading scorer. The senior attacker has 114 goals in 43 games with the Golden Eagles.
But that's not it for lacrosse honors. On the women's lacrosse team, senior attacker Meg Burley earns preseason Offensive Player of the Year. This comes after the Glenville native scores an incredible 69 goals the past season. Junior attacker Tess Osborne is also featured on the preseason All-Big East team along with Burley.
Today in studio, we have women's basketball analyst Mikey Severson. Good to have you on, Mikey. The women's Big East basketball is currently 13-6 on the year, 5-3 Big East Conference play, as well as having a 2-game win streak. The Golden Eagles have seemingly connected the puzzle pieces in most areas of the game. What has been the biggest factor in their success so far?
I'd say the biggest factor is consistency. I mean, you got really good coaching, great performance from Skylar Forbes, 4 Big East honor rolls this season. Lee Volker, too. Hallie Weiss, lockdown leader over the summer 5 times. And she even got on the Big East honor roll, too. I think those 3 players, also other players contributing in the roles, such as Olivia Porter, guarding the opponent's best guard, and Jaden Mason being the offensive engine. And also bench performance, too. Abby Krakenau, Kennedy Perkins contributing with their numbers called. I think you got players who buy into their coaching.
Absolutely. And Skylar Forbes has been playing extremely elite brand of basketball this year, taking a major leap this season, averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. Mikey, can you take a moment and tell us about the driving force behind Forbes' leap this year and how she's kind of been playing?
I'd say the driving force behind Forbes is I mean, when you lose all 5 people, someone's got to step up. And that's your versatility, too. She can shoot the 3 ball about as good as anybody on this team, and she's really good inside, being 6'3", and inside skills are perfect. You got shooting and knowing when to kick the ball out to your teammates, and that's something. She's a great leader as well. I mean, your young team, you gotta no freshman though, but you have to be able to to be able to be a leader when you're probably one of the best players on your team, and she does that very well. And she's definitely a beacon that the team looks off of for energy as well.
Absolutely. And first-year head coach Kara Consuegra took on the position after Megan Duffy's leave and was put in a situation where most of the players on the team last year, as you said, graduated or transferred. Given their current record on this season, what does that say about the impact of Consuegra as a coach?
That says that she's doing her job well. Players have bought in to play with heart. I just talked to them yesterday, including Coach Consuegra, and those players, when I saw them, they were bought in. They had the mentality and drive that they completely bought into what Coach Consuegra was saying. Those 5 tenants, play with heart, and they were clearly bought in during practice and stuff like that. And you also have to know that turning around a program overnight, the team was probably not expected to do this good, and you got 5 new starters, and you got players, as she said, embracing their roles and playing very well in their roles as well. And you got Lee Volker, Hallie Weiss, and Skylar Forbes, as we previously mentioned, playing some of their best basketball.
Absolutely. Marquette faces the Xavier Musketeers on January the 29th. How does Marquette match up against Xavier?
I'd say that Marquette matches up very well to the Xavier Musketeers, even in Cincinnati. Xavier only 6 wins on this season, and when you got players playing hot like Hallie Weiss, Skylar Forbes, Jaden Mason is the offensive engine, I would say that favorable matchup going into Cincinnati, and they should come away with a road win.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mikey, for your time.
After a great week for Marquette Athletics, there are some Golden Eagles who deserve a little bit more recognition. Starting us off, we have our Team of the Week award. This week, we do have a tie. Both men and women's basketball take home the honor.
Both teams cruised through their Big East competition this week and closed the week 2-0. For the MVP of the week, we have Skylar Forbes of the women's basketball team.
Forbes was a force on both sides of the court, averaging 20 points, 3 steals, and 2 blocks.
For the rookie of the week, we have Royce Parham of the men's basketball team.
Parham was a complete spark plug for the Golden Eagles this week, leading the second unit in scoring and offensive rebounds.
For the sixth man of the week, we have Kennedy Perkins of the women's basketball team.
Perkins found herself in some crucial moments off the bench this week, averaging 4 rebounds and 4 assists.
And coming up this week in athletics, we look forward to a lot of exciting games.
The men's basketball team starts off Marquette Athletics this week with a game tonight at Butler.
The women's basketball team follow up with a road trip beginning at Xavier this Wednesday night and ending at Villanova on Sunday night.
And the week is capped off Saturday night with the Marquette men's basketball team defending their home turf against the Yukon Huskies for National Marquette Day. Coming up on C Block, is the NFL rigged?
Plus, did the Miami Heat fail Jimmy Butler? Find out after the break.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Action!
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
And welcome back to Studio 7 as we preview the Chiefs' win and discuss the latest NBA drama. Joining with me on the panel tonight is Layla Hudson and Jake Dale. Let's get right to it. So, Layla, the Kansas City Chiefs sent the Buffalo Bills home yet again in the postseason. And now the Chiefs have the chance to three-peat in the Super Bowl. However, there were a couple of questionable calls in what fans are calling a fixed game. Did the Chiefs earn the win? Did Josh Allen and the Bills get cheated? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like they earned the win. They are a talented team. There's no denying that. But there could be a possibility that the refs want the Chiefs to win so they can make history and be the first NFL team to win 3 years in a row.
Absolutely. Jake, what are you kind of thinking about that?
I have to disagree. Obviously, the Chiefs, the Chiefs are undeniably great. Like, their defense has been great all year. In the last game, they put up 30 points for, I think, the first time in the season against a decent Bills defense. But having the game rigged is just insane, I think. The NFL understands that as much as the Chiefs are now a big market, people like different things. And I think the Bills would have been a nice different thing this year. Instead, we get a Eagles-Chiefs rematch that, frankly, to me and many others, isn't as exciting.
Absolutely. And who are you kind of going for in the Super Bowl?
I guess I'll pick Eagles. Anyone but the Chiefs is my take, and I think many others. So with that sentiment, I highly doubt it was rigged. I like to think that most sports aren't rigged, but I highly doubt that this game in particular not rigged, and the Chiefs are just that good.
Absolutely. Changing gears a little bit, the Jimmy Butler saga continues after being suspended 2 times this season. The Miami Heat have suspended Jimmy Butler indefinitely. This looks like the end of Jimmy Butler Miami Heat era, and one of the biggest questions is who's at fault here? This is just who Jimmy Butler is, or should Pat Riley have given Butler a bit more leeway with this contract expectations? Layla, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I do love Jimmy Butler, but I feel like he has history of being a drama queen. First of all, Jimmy was originally with the Chicago Bulls, and they refused to give him a max contract, and he was upset about that. Then he was unhappy with the Minnesota Timberwolves due to his contract and requested a trade. Then he said Tobias Harris over meaning that Philadelphia 76ers made a mistake by retaining Harris instead of Jimmy Butler. Now he is suspended indefinitely after walking out of the shoot-around after being told he is not going to start. I just feel like there's a pattern, and he's a drama queen in my opinion.
Absolutely. Are you kind of feeding off of this drama queen energy as well, or what are your thoughts on it, Jake?
Well, let's be real here. You look at his time in Philadelphia, Tobias Harris over him is insane. Jimmy Butler is a special player, and that's real. His time in Chicago came to an end after winning Most Improved Player of the Year, having a bunch of great years in Chicago, and they still kind of threw him away for nothing. The Bulls went into a rebuild after that. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, undoubtedly talented, maybe a drama queen at times, but he earns it for how good he is, for the way he plays, and for the way that he's carried this Heat team multiple times in the playoffs and beyond. Jimmy Butler earns that type of credibility, and the Heat have kind of let him down.
Absolutely. For the majority of NFL teams, the offseason has just begun. We have new faces like Ben Johnson, and we have old faces like Pete Carroll. And on top of that, teams like the Jets, Cowboys, Patriots, and Jaguars also welcome in new head coaches. Out of all of the teams making these changes at the head coach level, which NFL team made the best decision here? Jake, I'll start with you.
Well, I have to go with the Raiders. Pete Carroll is a fantastic signing. His time with the Seahawks came to an end a little bit in a rough way. They were sort of mediocre down the stretch. Pete Carroll's old, but with that comes a ton of wisdom, a ton of success, and a ton of history. Pete Carroll is a Super Bowl winner, and he will be joining a bunch of great coaches in the AFC West. I love the Pete Carroll signing. I think the Raiders, the one thing that they need the most is structure. And that's exactly what an old coach like Pete Carroll gives. He gives structure, he gives identity to a Raider team that honestly needs it a lot.
Absolutely. Layla, what are your thoughts on this?
I was thinking Brian Callahan. He is a new head coach for the Tennessee Titans. And I say this because his father is what led the Raiders to the Super Bowl. So I feel like his father could give him tips on how to go for
a little bit of more of that legacy,
yes.
Passing on some experience and tips and things like that. Well, thank you both for the great discussion. We're out of time. Tune in next week for all of our coverage of all things sports, all things Marquette sports, and more.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!